welcome back to Tiny Artist TV. Today we are going to be doing our drawing of Aquarius, who's going to be the second in our series of the 12 constellations. So this one actually had a little bit of interesting history. Well, I mean, I guess it's interesting to me, and just in that it's not strictly Greek. Like, most of the Aquarius mythology is Greek, but according to one source I found, it's actually also connected to the Babylonians and the Egyptians as far as their connection to water, even though apparently in astrology Aquarius is, for some reason, an air sign. Aquarius is depicted as either a cupbearer or someone who's pouring out a vial of water, and in Egyptian culture is attributed with the constellation known as Hapi, who's the god of the Nile. But of course, in Greek mythology, which is the one that most people are acquainted with, is actually Ganymede, who's the cupbearer to the gods, and is also a representation of rain. So I still don't know how Aquarius ended up being a water or an air sign, but anyway. Personality traits of Aquarius tend to be very eccentric and energetic and outgoing, so that's why I decided to depict our Aquarius guy here as this kind of roguish, mischievous, I guess apparently a waterbender, but I was also trying to play with the air feature a little bit, having him be in some sort of flight. So yeah. The other reason behind character design as far as this one goes, and it is very different from the Capricorn design, but I'm kind of doing what I did with the 12 days of D in December and going back and forth. Like, if I did a female for the previous one, I'm doing a male for the next one, and so this one ended up being a male. And then as far as connecting it to fantasy races, the personality type that I kept coming across as far as Aquarius goes is very roguish. And so I was choosing between either a rogue or a bard. And I personally know an Aquarius, like actually my best friend of like 20 something years at this point, is an Aquarius, and she's very much outgoing and very, like, I don't want to say loud, but she's very energetic and just like has a lot of energy and is just very friendly and just peak Aquarius. Like, I don't ascribe to like astrological beliefs, but I have found them to be like, I mean, you're using these to describe the traits of at least like some percentage of a billion people. Like, there's gonna be some crossover and some coincidence, but it's just like, yeah, she's an Aquarius through and through. So I was kind of capturing that energy with just this like mischievous but fun-loving kind of personality, and just having the water splashing around and just very dynamic and energetic. And I guess the main difference between this one and Capricorn is that the Capricorn seemed a little more reserved and majestic, but that also falls in line with what I found in my research as far as Capricorn's personality. They're more reserved and calculated and introverted. So, yeah. And now I'm just filling in the Aquarius symbol. I had a little bit of, like, towards the end, trouble integrating it because it's very bold and there's a lot going on in here. It's supposed to look like this tempest of activity, which it does, but then once I overlaid it over the actual drawing itself, I did get a little busy. I find a way to just kind of push it into the background so it's not a problem. But yeah, so that's that, and I have it set to overlay for now, but for the coloring I just kind of get it out of the way. For the coloring, so as you may or may not know, the birthstone, because I'm also integrating birthstones, birth flowers, other things like that, to pull in my design elements and color choices, the birthstone for February is the amethyst. So I have my amethyst color palette. the birth flower is the violet, also purple, so that was kind of a double on there. And then apparently February's color was ocean blue, and it didn't really vibe well with the purple, so I went with this more of like a seafoam green, and it just looks really pretty with like because it's a gray tone, green tone, blue, and just meshes really well with the purple tones in there. I also realized halfway through coloring this that I may or may not have accidentally created a ghastly Gajinka. So a few videos ago, this was like back in October when I did my Halloween Gajinka video, I did Haunter, along with, you know, Deoxys and Suicune. But the Haunter color palette is very similar to the Amethyst color palette that I'm working with here. And so it kind of falls into that same aesthetic. I don't hate it. It's actually kind of a happy accident there. But yeah, just something I noticed when I was coloring this, and may also attribute to the vibe difference, is that this one is a lot more youthful, a little more, I don't know, it's just got different energy to it. A little more cartoony, whereas the other one felt more like an English, like something you would find in a zoologist kind of, you know, that kind of aesthetic. So yeah. Also, as far as like, you know, the color of the month, because last month for January it was rust, and then for this month it was, like I said, the ocean blue, and I have those written out through June. I have no idea where I got it from. I didn't write down the website because I'm an idiot. So for July through December, I won't have that as a reference. They don't really contribute anything other than adding some interest to the color palette, so I'm most likely just going to end up using complementary colors. And then for the clothing, I honestly had no idea how I wanted to color this. So I really was basically just working from light to dark, because once again, unlike Capricorn, which I had an image already in my head, with Aquarius, I had no idea what I wanted this character to look like, no idea what kind of color layout I wanted to do. So I'm just kind of working from dark to light and seeing what works, and it ends up looking really good. So I'm happy with that. So now we're getting closer to the end of the video. I'm just putting the finishing touches on the rest of the character here, like finishing off the back of the jacket and just the eyes and the jewelry. I thought about adding some shading to this, but I really like how bold just the flat colors are, so I leave it alone. And just, you know, I've been learning when to stop working on a piece, because I had this terrible habit of just overworking it. So this is the end of Aquarius. I hope you guys enjoyed tuning in to watch me color the second out of our 12 Zodiac series. And of course, like and subscribe to keep in touch with content. And in the meantime, see you guys next time. Have a weird day.